Hello and welcome to the How Could You Forget podcast, a fun podcast where your hosts Gurdon, Camp, and Lexi, as well as an occasional guest, come together to learn about a topic that maybe you'd forgotten about, never heard about, or is simply too good to forget. Today, we've got an interesting one for you, as we always do.
We would hope we always do.
I
thought this one was going to be boring. No.
Yeah, we got a boring one for you. We've got a topic. This week, we actually have two viewer topics that we're doing because they are... Two? Yeah, exactly. We have two viewer topics that we're doing because they just go so well together, and I wasn't sure if these mentions or recommendations by themselves would be enough for a full episode and, you know, have enough content pretty much. But we are going to be talking about non-human electoral candidates and obscure political campaigns.
Ooh.
Okay.
So the first one, non-human electoral candidates, this came from James V. Rossi. I hope I'm saying that right. They recommended the non-human electoral candidates. And then the odd political campaigns comes from Quidurf. I hope I'm also saying that right. Quidurf, you know, we were French or something.
French, maybe.
But they said odd political campaigns. So these two just go so well together that I'm like, doing both.
It is kind of a match made in heaven. Like, I feel, there's a lot of potential.
It is.
Yeah, they work really well together. And there is a lot of overlap, actually, between some of these that I did not expect.
Y'all should be friends. Just immediately. Then you all can come up even more like their topic combos. Thank you.
We're all about bringing people together at the How Could You Forget podcast.
Right. Wanted to say that while this episode will obviously be about political things, it's much lighter. We're not going to be diving into anything that is too doom-filled or inflammatory, so don't worry. It's not going to be that. I don't know how else to say it. It's not going to be...
Y'all probably need a break from the world, and we're here to give it to you.
Yeah, not going to be particularly heavy. There'll be some serious stuff, but nothing heavy, especially not compared to some of the episodes we've done a little bit in the past.
I mean, Lexi, one of the candidates was basically like, we should give every single person an additional leg. But I mean, besides that, like, I think...
No, that one's not in here, so
okay.
That's fine.
You aren't mentioning Three Legs McGee. Gotcha. Okay. I thought you would have mentioned him.
I can't say that I am. No.
Dang.
So yeah, as I mentioned, combination topic from James Rossi and Quidurf. Very cool things going on. Thank you so much to you guys for submitting these requests. And like I mentioned before, I do actually keep a list. So keep sending us some recommendations, and you never know. Yours could become an episode.
You could be the next James, or
you could be the next forgetted topic. Forgored.
We'll be the next to forget you.
It could be forgored.
Forgored. How can you forgore?
Or whatever that Shakira song is. Starting off with the non-human electoral candidates. The vast majority of places, non-human candidates are not eligible to win, even if they receive a majority of the votes or win by like sheer numbers.
And people talk about democracy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So there are also a ton of write-ins on the ballots for every election. Literally everywhere where write-ins are allowed, which, by the way, write-ins are not allowed in all 50 states of the U.S. There are some states that do not allow you to write in candidates. So that was interesting. But people write in a whole bunch of random stuff on write-ins. We're not really going to be talking about that so much, but we're going to talk about some of the obscure non-human candidates that kind of got a bit of traction, or people were talking about them, not just somebody who wrote Mickey Mouse, on the ballot and haha, that's funny. So we're going to start out with some animals that were on the ballot and or in positions, almost maybe. And this list came from a website called The Week, where it talks about 8 different non-human candidates. So I got a couple ideas from there, and I'm just going to read kind of their descriptions on some of these because there's they're worth mentioning, but there's not really a lot about some of these. So I'm just going to be reading from their list. So I will link that source below. So the first one we're going to talk about, and where these are in chronological order, we are going to be talking about Incatus. I hate this word. It is a Roman word. I do not know how to say it. The horse. And I'll send that to you guys so you can help me pronounce what this horse is called.
Iridocyclitis.
Inciditus. That sounds way better. Okay, so this was a horse in ancient Rome. And according to... What?
I just like, oh yes, this horse that just gets randomly elected cool. Like, it's just funny to hear. Is this Nero's horse?
No. According to the Week, says, while never technically on any ballot, the Roman horse, whatever his name is, was a trailblazer because his rumored political career is the earliest recorded case of an animal involved in politics. There's disagreement over the details of Incitus, the favored steed of the Emperor Caligula.
Oh, Caligula,
in the 12 Lives of Caesars, Roman historian Suetonius wrote that the leader was planning to appoint Incitus to consul before he died, but died before he made it official. I'm assuming the horse died, not Caligula. But I don't know.
I think Caligula also died. He's dead.
Well, I mean, at some point, probably.
Well, yeah, you don't say.
I would put money on it,
Yeah. So
this is what the deep
state
doesn't want you to know, that Caligula's still alive out there.
Caligula's still alive. He's living in California.
I honestly, it might be Caligula that died, because it said the Roman historian Suetonius wrote that the leader was planning to appoint him, but died before making it official. So I think that does mean that Caligula died.
I think that's Caligula.
So
Caligula is just a terrifying name.
So shout out to Incitus the horse. I hate ancient Roman words.
Shout out to Incineroar.
Yeah, exactly.
Use payback. Let's go.
So that was the first instance of an animal potentially being in government. And the next one is kind of funny, and this is also from that source, theweek.com. And this is Boston Curtis the Mule.
Boston Curtis.
Boston
Great
Curtis.
name.
That just sounds like a nickname. Just like, hey, I'm Boston Curtis. What's up? Like,
Hey.
But by the way, he wasn't in Boston either. So
why
Where was he?
oh, yeah, that's what makes it stupid. I'm like, oh, if he was in Boston, that's funny. No, he wasn't even there. In 1938, voters in Milton, Washington, nominated Boston Curtis to precinct committeeman in the Republican primary without realizing he was not a human. The city's mayor, a Democrat, had orchestrated Boston Curtis's candidacy as a prank to embarrass the opposing party. So the Democratic mayor was like, hey, yo, I'm going to tell them this Boston Curtis guy is running, not, and they won't know he's actually a mule.
Well, yeah, mules be running. That's what he probably ran on.
Yeah.
Ran on good faith. He ran for carrots. Like
He ran for
did
carrots.
run for carrots.
Wow.
One of his favorite things.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you will see that a lot of the times...
see? Oh, that's a mule. Darn it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And I don't have any pictures for these. Sorry. I will have a picture later on of a few, but I don't have any so far. So I thought that was funny, and it's an interesting trend that we will see, is that a lot of the times people will use these non-human candidates as a way to kind of make some sort of commentary or some statement about something. Rarely is it ever like in all seriousness. And so in this sense, people voted Boston Curtis the Mule to be the Republican primary, I don't know if he was the winner, but he was pretty high up there because people just didn't know that he was an animal. But in other cases, people are fully aware and are like...
Did Boston win?
Yeah.
Did I miss that part?
Boston Cruz? No, he did not.
Oh, darn it.
That's why I'm saying I think they nominated him to the Republican primary. So he like got the nomination, but he didn't win. Once people figured out that he was actually a mule, they're like, oh yeah, we're not voting for this guy. Or mule, I should say.
This guy.
This not guy.
They
This
were
very
so
not
confused.
guy. Dude, I would be. I still am after I researched this and wrote some stuff down. So, okay. So the next one that we have.
So Lexi, I do have a quick question / follow-up, because again, you're trailblazing all these non-humans. Like, so far we've got a horse and a mule. Like, of course, Caligula didn't get his horse on the cabinet or whatever it was.
The
but
console,
with, like,
yeah.
the console, like
Xbox.
If so the Switch 2, so if nobody had like found out that Boston Harris had been like a mule.
Oh, Boston Curtis.
I keep saying Harris.
Respect the name.
I know, put some respect on his name. But like if they had gone through the entire electoral process and like right at the very end, like they were like, all right, time to bring up, does anybody know where Boston is? Like looking around, and then there's just a horse up on stage, like
A mule.
the mule. I keep messing it up. Like, who would have gotten in trouble? Like, is there anybody that's like, you're to blame for getting Boston up here? Or like, is it just like,
That's a good question. I don't think anybody actually gets in trouble. I think they just are like, well, we're going to have another election. And there are a couple of instances where I'll mention that of like, they're like, oh, we can't have this non-human candidate be our candidate, so we're just gonna redo.
what if both
basically.
sides put up a non-human? Like, they both put up like a dog and a cat, though.
That would be wild. I don't think that would ever happen, but I really don't know at that point. I don't know if they would just be
We
like,
live in a society.
we live in a society. Oh my gosh.
We do, though.
So yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that, but we'll have a couple examples where they're just basically like, oh yeah, we're not having a non-human candidate represent us. We're redoing,
Dang.
basically. The next non-human candidate is Pegasus the Immortal in 1968. And it's like spelled like Pegasus, but it's Pegasus because it is a pig.
I kind of gathered
so-
that, but I'm glad to have it clarified.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify in case it was just kind of jumbled up and you're like, wait, what did Lexi say?
What if it
So
was a real
this is
Pegasus, though?
also-
That would have also been kind of wild, though.
That
Okay,
pretty
that would have been
badass.
amazing. And people would have been like, where did you find this? Like, where did you find this and how can we study this?
The Pegasus
But-
store, Lexi. Silly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. So this one is also from theweek.com, and it says, in 1968, amid high tension surrounding U.S. politics, the Youth International Party put forth a 160-pound pig named Pegasus the Immortal as a U.S. presidential candidate. His platform was a pile of garbage. Like, that's just one sentence.
Like a literal pile of garbage?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, his
okay.
platform was a
All
pile
right.
of garbage.
Do you mean platform as though he was standing on a pile of garbage as well, or is it just
no,
okay?
no, that's what his idea is that he was running on.
Oh, okay.
Was a pile of garbage. So the Yippies, which is what the people of the Youth International Party were called, rationalized his candidacy with the idea that elected candidates, quote, eat the people, but this nominee was one that the people could eat. So they kind of flipped it around. Pegasus's entrance in Chicago was dramatic. Police carried the hog off, citing a law prohibiting livestock in the city. His handlers, called the Chicago Eight, which then was 7 members, were arrested and hit with charges that included intent to start a riot. So
Why would that incite a riot? Like,
because they broke the law. No livestock in the city.
How dare.
Babe pig in the city? How about no? Illegal.
yeah, poor babe,
Yeah.
dude.
God forbid.
Yeah. Poor Pegasus.
Don't worry, he's immortal. He'll have another chance.
There's not too much else. I mean, there's like a little bit more about Pegasus, but it's really not that interesting, to be honest with you.
Well, if a name like
so
Pegasus
I
be
just
immortal,
thought
I
it
figured
was-
there'd be a huge backstory.
Right. Yeah, no, it was just this Youth International Party to make a statement, nominated a pig, and then his platform was the garbage, of course, and then the idea that since candidates eat the people, this is a nominee that the people themselves could eat. So it was more of a political commentary on being unhappy
I
with.
like to imagine that if Pegasus had won the race, they would celebrate by just eating him. You know what I mean? That'd be a great victory.
giant hog roast.
Yeah, communal hog roast. Everyone gets together, decides to just be chill.
There you go.
Ideal.
Eats.
That's the future Karl Marx wanted.
Yes!
Giant hog roast.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh. So that's Pegasus. We'll kind of touch on him a little bit. You know, he kind of comes up again later on, but we'll leave him here for now.
So he is immortal.
No, he's not immortal. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very dead.
No,
he's very dead.
Then they lied.
Spoilers.
That was back in 1968.
That's why they arrested him, because they lied.
There are human beings that were alive in 1968 that are dead now. Like that's
there's people that were alive in like 2024 that are also dead. Like that.
Yes, I know. That's morbid.
Exactly.
Yeah. How dare you bring that up?
But
how
also,
morbid.
I don't call like, oh hey, Daryl, nice to meet you, Daryl the Immortal. And then when he dies, I'm not like, oh man, who would have guessed that Daryl the Immortal would have died? I'm like, but if somebody goes like, this
his
pig's
name
immortal.
is Immortal. How could he die if he was immortal?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
So the next one that we have is Morris the Cat.
Cat.
And this was from 2013. And there was a whole lovely article from The Guardian that is now archived that talked about Morris the Cat. But Morris's owner and some friends originally started throwing this idea around as a joke, saying, oh, you know, what if Morris, you know, ran for, I think, mayor? But then it started to pick up some traction and people are like, hey, what if we actually do this? According to the Guardian article about Morris, quote, Morris has become an expression of how fed up the people are with all of the parties and a political system that does not represent us, said Sergio Chamorro. I hope I'm not butchering that.
Chamorro.
The owner of the furry black and white candidate whose first campaign slogan was, quote, tired of voting for rats? Vote for a cat.
Woo! Let's go. Oh
yeah,
my God.
so Sergio was pretty funny, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, no, what if we put up Morris the Cat as a way of, you know, saying that we're unhappy with
fighting the man, the meow.
Yeah, basically.
Stop fighting the man and go fight the nyan.
The bread, dude.
You're not fighting the Nyan. The Nyan is running for
The
mayor.
nyan is the friend.
No, but as soon as he becomes an elected official, then it's like you got to overtake the bourgeoisie or something like that. Like he becomes part of the system.
Beautiful.
Alrighty. People who quickly were supporting Morris, and apparently Morris had a really big Facebook page as well. They dubbed Morris the Candidato, which is a mix between the Spanish words for candidate and cat. So,
yeah, I got that one actually. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not very proficient in Spanish, so I just wanted to make sure everybody, if I said Candidato, that's what that they knew that's what I meant. Another quote from the Guardian article says, quote, the truth is, Morris no longer belongs to us. He belongs to his fans, said Chamorro, adding that he had received messages from citizens designated to run the polling stations on Election Day describing their plans to ensure the cat's votes are registered and made public, even if they do not officially count, end quote.
Okay.
That's great.
Shit.
So they're like, hey, we know he can't actually win, but we need the people to see how fed up other people are with this. So we want to make sure his numbers are published. So the word about Morris the Cat managed to spread enough that someone affiliated with the local election board was actually pleading with people to cast their vote for a human candidate and not Morris, since it would be an invalid vote. She was literally like, please do not vote for the cat.
It's like, please don't waste your goddamn vote. Like, just come on.
Yeah, don't waste your vote. Vote for a person, is what she said. She's like, I don't even care which one at this point. Just vote for a human.
But you're holding up the democratic process at that point. Like, legitimately, if every single person votes for the cat, then nobody deserves to win besides the cat, because that's who they voted for. The people's voice matters at that point. Like, actually,
right? Give them Morris.
Yeah,
they want Morris.
Yes.
Give us Morris or give us death, dude. Just straight up.
So real.
We're gonna Viva la Revolution.
Yes,
Morris.
we're bringing back Mortis.
Mortis?
Yeah.
I would hope
You
it's
don't
not
even
Mortis.
know his name.
I'm like, you know, I'm
Mortis.
the worst with names ever. You know this, okay?
Listen, Gurn just wants to fight for something, okay?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything.
So
Mortis
true,
2027.
Are we good?
Lexi's done with me. Yes, Lexi's done with me.
No, I was about to say I couldn't find his Facebook page because that was over 10 years ago and I thought it would maybe still be active, but for some reason I couldn't find a link. So if somebody knows about Morris the Cat's political Facebook.
I would love to read more about Morris's policies if they're still up anywhere.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Well, and also I wanted to see how many people had liked the page or were engaging with it, but couldn't seem to find it. So my apologies.
This is
on
Morris
that
erasure.
one.
I'm just gonna say
My
it.
goodness.
Honestly, though, they're trying to. This is revisionist history right
This
here.
is
Revisionist
Gosh.
history. We live in a dystopia anyway.
we do. We live in a society. I'm becoming the Joker from this episode.
Oh my gosh. Well, just don't yet. I still got more to go. So the next animal that we have, and this is the last animal we're going to talk about before we get into a couple of other weird ones, is Kakariko the rhino. I hope I'm saying that right. Kakariko. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys.
Kakariko.
It's a Brazilian rhino.
Kakariko? Is that it?
Kakariko.
Sure, whatever. I'm going to say Kakariko because yeah.
I can feel the white just exuding from my
She's
screen
white.
right
Yeah.
She was a female black rhino
Whoa!
who was on exhibit at the Rio de Janeiro Zoo in Brazil. She was loaned to the Sao Paulo Zoo to celebrate the opening of their zoo. And this was I forgot to write down, this was also, I think, in the 60s. Yes. Or 50s, excuse me. This was in the 50s. In 1958, she was loaned to the Sao Paulo Zoo. So 1958, she was there, and she became so popular that a journalist, I believe jokingly, suggested that Kakariko be a write-in candidate because she was better than the candidates that they had to pick from.
That's such a baller move, though.
Yeah. Like, hey, a rhino is better than you. Get good. And of course, this was because many people at the time were displeased with, their political options. And according to hoaxes.org, which is an interesting website to talk about this because it was definitely like Kakariko was not a hoax.
It was a real thing.
Yeah, it was a real thing. But hoaxes.com gave some more information, and I just want to read a quote from there that said, Kakariko's candidacy was traced back to a group of students who had printed up 200,000 ballots with her name on them. But the ballots were all legitimately cast by voters, one of who commented, better to elect a rhino than an ass. Which contributed to her winning.
Let's go!
Which contributed to her winning with 15% of the vote, the highest of any candidate. And she was 5 years old at the time.
Like ever?
No, the highest of any candidate in that race.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
She got 15% of the vote, which was the highest out of anybody else running out of that election cycle.
How many political parties are in Brazil? That is 15% being a winner is crazy.
I would assume at least like 10.
Probably quite a few, because also people could probably write in stuff. So,
yeah,
even
true.
if somebody wasn't on the ballot, if they're
Right
like,
in Kakariko. Do it.
yeah. So yeah, she was 5 years old at the time. So
Start 'em early.
She's yeah.
Don't they call some sort of political people rhinos? Like, isn't that a term for a type of person running for office?
I don't know if you bring this up, but we do have the rhinoceros party in Canada. I don't think they're still a thing, but they were a
Eric,
huge meme.
no.
Shit, is that there?
No.
Oh, all right, never mind. I forgot I said that.
No.
I will not say anything about it.
Camp didn't say that. So, of course, as I've mentioned at the beginning of this episode to kind of set the stage, her win was not considered legitimate. They were not going to put a rhino in this position. So they had
This is a rhino erasure. I'm still going to stand by that statement.
Yeah, I mean, she won, and they said, nah, no, you didn't.
There's nothing in the rule book saying a rhino can't lead a country.
Exactly.
Except for there actually was.
Oh.
No.
So they had another election the next week.
Oh.
So, and I'm assuming a human candidate won that one because it does not say anything as a follow-up to that. So I think the interesting thing about her run specifically, so this quote from hoaxes.org says, Cacareco's election caused an outpouring of concern among Brazil's intellectual classes. One sociologist described it as a phenomenon of the greatest sociological importance and worried that it indicated Brazil was on the threshold of revolt. Yeah.
That's the indication.
Others interpret it as a protest against food shortages, the high cost of living, and political corruption. In fact, many voters in the same election had expressed their disgust with local politics by placing black beans in the ballot envelope instead of a ballot.
What?
Because people were just so fed up.
I know.
Oh my god!
But that is pretty funny. Imagine opening you're like, why is this envelope wet and it's just beans? I can kind of understand what that sociologist was saying, because if enough people were like, no, literally, I would rather have a rhino run the government than the people that we have now, like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you manage to convince almost a sixth of a country to write in a
200,000 ballots.
200,000 ballots to write in a rhino, then you know something is wrong. Oh my gosh.
And if they're not voting for the rhino, you're getting a bunch of ballots full of beans. Like,
yeah, people are not happy with the system. That much is obvious.
Yeah.
I just like the thought that, like, throughout history, every single time that there's ever been a revolution, everybody has decided, oh, we're going to vote for a rhino. Like, I just think I love that idea, even though I know that's not exactly what they're talking about.
Can we do
that should be the sign of...
Yeah, that's the indicator for a new revolution is, hey, a rhino appears. Like, not just somewhere, but like
Smash, a rhino appears, and you're like, oh god, it's time for the revolution.
A rhino has entered the competition.
Yeah, just through a wall. No, god.
I better get all my stuff ready.
Right before the French Revolution, just a random rhino walks through town, and you're like, what on earth? Oh, I guess it's time to overthrow the government. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
It's a sign of the times.
It is, yes.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, as funny as that is, it is true that Cacarecos seem to kick off a trend of this, because Brazil has had a lot of other sorts of campaigns that are like this, where it was animals being written in or being voted for as a way of showing their distaste for the local politicians, and really as an act of protest. So she was kind of the trailblazer on that one. So kind of, legendary
queen,
in my opinion. So that was the end of the animal candidates, of the non-human electoral candidates. And I just want to hit on a few more before we get to our fun little game. Ooh. And the first one was a fire hydrant. Yeah. So, according to the Wikipedia about non-human electoral candidates, quote, a fire hydrant ran for election multiple times between 2004 and 2008 at the University of British Columbia, including a position on the Board of Governors.
Of course, this is in Canada. Of course, okay.
I was going to say the same thing, that it's Canadian.
Coming within 6% of being elected.
Camp your country's great.
Oh, that's 100%. I can believe that. That's 100% something Canadians would do.
All the dogs got together and they're like, we're voting for fire hydrant.
Let's go.
Gotta be fire hydrant.
Did it have a name or anything, or was it just like fire hydrant?
A fire hydrant.
A fire. Okay.
They would roll up to the ballot station. They'd be like, who are you voting for? And then they just point at the fire hydrant.
And you're like, wait, who? What? So yeah, that one just really took me out. I was like, a fire hydrant? Because there's a ton more on the Wikipedia, and if you do more research about non-human electoral candidates, but I just wanted to pull out some of the wildest ones, and I'm like, no, literally a fire hydrant.
Justify. That's wild.
That was not what I
It's
expected.
Did you say 0.6% away or 6% away from
No,
it?
it came within 6% of being elected.
Okay. I was going to say, if it was 0.6%, that would be insanely close.
Yeah. Like 6%'s already wild, but no, 0.6 would be crazy.
Yeah.
How, like, I would like to know. So far we've talked about, of course, all these people, and I know you'll probably get to this, but what I'd like to think of, like, you're actually trying to, not you specifically, but the people that are running the actual, like, campaigns of the opposition to these, like, animals and fire hydrants and stuff like that they're like, yes, I have all these donors lined up that are going to help do these. We're going to have some charity dinners. We're going to canvass the neighborhoods and go shake hands and kiss babies. And then they're like, who are we up against, Dale? And then Dale's like, we're losing right now in early polls to a fire hydrant, sir. Like, like the reaction that these people
That would be so demoralizing.
Exactly, because it's like, what can you do to like recover? Because like you can compete with the fire hydrant, like you can't. Like the fire hydrant does nothing but exist. Like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Its existence literally goes against you at the very level, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Well, and you can't even, exactly like what you guys said, you can't even be like, if I'm elected, I won't sit on the side of the road. Like, how do you...
You know what? That
What
was
do
an
you even
easy
come up
one. I
with?
know that was a low bar to cross, but I will not sit on the side of the road and
Yeah.
spew out water. That I can guarantee that.
Yeah. You have my promise on that.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. Yeah, I think it already means you're toast.
Yes.
There's already a group of people who really don't like you. And I think you just have to take the L on that and then continue to talk to your voting base who's like actually supporting you and
I
be
think
like,
it's just time to give up. Like at that point, like, do you concede to the fire hydrant?
no, you wouldn't give up because again, the fire hydrant got quite a bit of votes, but it didn't actually win. And so I would just be like, hey, if people are going to vote for a fire hydrant, I don't think I can change their mind. Let me just focus on the people who are supporting me or who are still deciding who to vote for.
I get that. I just think that by that point, you're just toast. Like, give up about your political like history. Like, yeah, your dad might have ran for county commissioner and you're gonna follow in his footsteps, but bro, you've lost if you can't even win against the fire.
You're already
hydrants.
cooked.
Yeah.
You're already sogged.
Yes.
Okay, moving on anyway. We have an AI candidate
Oh no!
from
Alright.
2024. At first I read it as Al Steve and I realized it was supposed to be AI Steve. So
Hey, I'm my boy Al Steve.
it's not that funny.
I love Weird Al Steve. Yeah.
So AI Steve, Al Steve, whatever, not sure what exactly his name is. I'm guessing AI Steve. Ran as an MP candidate for the Brighton Pavilion constituency during the 2024 UK general election.
Oh my good lord.
So he was an AI avatar of Steve Endicott, who was a businessman. And this businessman, Steve, signed up to be the in-person representation if AI Steve was to win.
Bro, that's the saddest existence ever. You're not even making the
Yeah.
decisions. You're a mouthpiece for a robot.
So thankfully, he finished dead last with only 179 votes.
Oh, good.
Oh my god! The 179 votes are all probably fucking tech bros.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So the people in Brighton, the people in the UK general election who were voting were like, no, we're not doing this. And I'm not going to go too deep into this case of it because I don't want to go on a rant about AI and all that
Al.
jazz, but Al, yeah. But I do think this is wild considering like, yes, this was an AI candidate that ran, but the real Steve was the one that was going to be attending the sessions if the AI Steve won. So at the end of the day, are you really voting for an AI? Like, I guess in a way you are, but I'm like, what? I don't really get that.
Well, my guess is that like he probably just pulled up ChatGPT on his phone, and every time that they're like, what do we do about these elections? And then he just goes like, all right, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is raising the budget on tea. Good for the country.
What do we do about this, Johnny AI? Okay, hold on. It's giving me a response. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay, it says to do this. Like, that's what I'm assuming you're doing, which is depressing, to say the least.
It's just weird. Because I guarantee you there's people already doing that in government, though. Just not saying that they are.
Probably, to be quite honest. It's seeping its way everywhere.
Yeah. Like, oh, summarize this bill. Should I vote on this? And then it goes yes or no. And they're like, okay, great. But I just thought that was so crazy because, like, I know AI is, like, very quickly, you know, advancing and becoming more of a part of our society. And so I was like, wow, as of 2024, there was somebody who tried to run an AI candidate. That was just wild to me. I was like, how does that even...
That was just laughed out of the room.
Yeah, which is good. That part is good. I'm like, I don't know why Steve himself just didn't run.
He didn't believe in himself. But like that's...
Apparently.
It makes sense if you're like, I'm going to use an AI of myself to run. Like if you just don't believe in yourself that much, like goodness.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas with this, it's like you got the worst of both worlds.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, you got a candidate, a human candidate that you are like, well, why are you even here? And then they're using AI and you're like, what even is the point of this? So you're just, at that point, I think you should give up. I think you should let the fire hydrant win in that case.
Yeah.
Lexi, can I quickly mention the story of if you're talking about just running things, apparently some company let an AI stock their vending machines like a couple months back or weeks back from when we were recording this.
Oh, huh.
And it started off fine when people would be like, hey, can you get some Cheetos? And it would be like, ordering Cheetos. And they would order it and stuff like that. But then somebody realized, oh, I can just mess with this AI and started ordering tungsten cubes.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was like, AI, can I get some tungsten cubes from the snack machine? And it's like, yes, I'll help you with that. And started just ordering large amounts of cubes that nobody wanted. And so again,
nobody locked it down
to
where it couldn't order things that weren't on like a list or something.
No. And again,
people are so dumb.
We're very much in the infancy of this AI stuff. And again, who knows, maybe in 20 years, it'll be like, oh, hello there, David. I know that you very much enjoy hot Cheetos. I've already ordered some because I could detect your presence within 3 miles. Like, it'll probably be creepy, but like right now it's nowhere near where it needs to be for that.
Yeah, let's hope we don't ever have an actual legitimate AI candidate. That would be awful. Please vote against any AI
All right, Camp,
candidates.
we're going to start an AI candidacy.
Let's go.
Next election.
I know there's people already doing it. I don't even speak about it because it's
okay.
Yeah, it's fair. I was going to say it'd be like
creepy.
a good bit for you too, but the problem is that there's already people doing it genuinely, which is terrifying.
Yeah. I don't want to be lumped in with those people.
True, though.
So, going to one of the funniest examples before we get to our game. We're going to go back in time a little bit. We were just in 2024. We're going to go back to 1967. So this is probably the strangest one that I found when I was looking into the non-human, non-animal candidates, because it really didn't make any sense to me until I read a little bit deeper into it. So in 1967, like I mentioned, in a small town in Ecuador called Picoaza, I am so sorry to any Ecuadorian people. I probably butchered that one really bad. So in this town, a foot powder was elected mayor.
Huh.
Like genuinely a foot powder.
A brand of foot powder or just a singular
brand of
container?
foot powder.
Okay.
No, a brand of foot powder.
Okay.
So the foot powder brand was not officially on the ballot. Much like the other candidates that we have talked about so far. But according to the source I was reading this on, it was electionbuddy.com, where it talks about this foot powder winning. It says, quote, Pulvapis had just released a very successful advertising campaign that made it to look like an election slogan. And that slogan stated, quote, vote for any candidate, but if you want well-being and hygiene, vote for Pulvapis. This statement must have resonated with people as it led to the foot powder winning the election. So, biggest example of people not understanding marketing and like satire, you know, like
oh my God.
They even said like, oh, vote for any candidate, but if you want this stuff, vote for this foot
I mean,
powder.
they wanted better hygiene. I don't know. What
Yeah.
Yeah, they took that literally. They were like, we need to vote for this. We want better well-being and hygiene. We got to vote for this.
Exactly.
I just want to know if like they were sitting there like as all of these votes were coming in, if the marketing team was like, I'm the best ever, I'm the best marketing man ever, or if they're sitting there like, oh my god, what have we done, we're losing our jobs, we're so done, or if it was like a mix of both of they're like, we're gonna get fired but I don't care, this is great. Like,
well, the thing with it is that they can't really get fired for it because, again, this would have probably passed through multiple channels, right? So people at the company were fine with it. And so I think they were more so just like, oh my gosh, wow. And it probably boosted their sales, I would say.
yeah.
I'd assume. I feel like that would become a household name at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about it now in the year 2025. I don't know. Let me do a quick search and see if Pulvapes is still...
Pulvaping around, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is still sold.
Damn.
So, yeah, I mean, they've got marketing forever now.
Yeah.
You can still even go to just their website and
We won the
look at it and
presidency.
whatnot. So,
Like, just written in big letters like,
no, it wasn't the presidency. No.
Oh, okay.
It was for mayor.
Mayor. We won
Very
mayor
different.
in 1967. That's a pretty good. You should slap that on every bottle.
Right.
Do you like your toes? Just weird.
You like your toes?
Yeah, it's a foot powder like me.
Yeah, but
Chris.
I don't even know. Do you like your toes? I mean, is that a threat?
Give your
Like,
toes the best from the previous mayor of 1967.
Thank you for
listen
saving
to the
me.
mayor.
Eric. Thank
Listen
you.
to the mayor of Picoaza. So yeah, this is that was just wild to me, and until I read the part about the slogan, I was like, I don't understand. And then I'm like, oh, okay, no, people just really took this literally. And I think it's just another case where people were so displeased with their offerings that they wrote in a candidate that matched their feelings at the time, and they thought that a foot powder could do a better job than any of the candidates on the ballot. So just another telling sort of sign of, hey, we don't like any of the people that are on here. We're sick of this stuff. So we're going to vote for a foot powder because a foot powder is better than any human being on this ballot right now.
Well, Lexi, I do agree, and I can entirely understand where that's coming from. I realize that people are dumb as hell, and I could absolutely see some dumb people being like, oh, I watched a commercial that tells me to vote for this. Okay, and just voting
That's
for
also
it.
true.
Like,
Yeah,
I can
that's
understand
fair.
the implications of like, hey, like, they're really upset with the system, and they're really doing this. Yeah, I can get that, but
Like with Kakariko,
yeah,
like the rhino.
but I could also just see like some guy being like, I mean, I watched a commercial and it's literally telling me to vote for it. So I mean, what do I?
Oh, I heard Pulvapes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll write them down. Yeah, name recognition is huge. I don't doubt that. I'm giving people more credit than they probably should have on this one because name recognition is huge in elections. So I bet you're probably right with that.
I wish I wasn't. I really wish I wasn't, but
Yeah,
That's the world we live in.
I agree.
yes.
But keeping with the trend of having a fun little game, we have a fun little game.
We're gamers.
Gaming.
So we are going to play How Could You Forget These Write-In Candidates?
Oh.
And we are going to do a pick and choose sort of game. And your task is to pick the actual write-in candidates specifically from the 2024 U.S. presidential election in Denton County, Texas.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Why did I pick this? Because this is the only article that I had actual statistics from or like actual sources. So I'm going to give you a list of 15, I would say people.
Okay.
Vaguely people. 15 people who may or may not have been a write-in candidate in Denton County, Texas. But you have to pick the 5 that you think were actually written in on the ballot.
Okay.
And so I do have the article as well. I'm not going to link it right now because it will give some of it away. But I do have the article. It's just a local Fox News for Denton County, Texas. So I'm going to type out these list of 15 people to you guys. And as I send it, I will also read aloud the 15 people. So that way you guys can be thinking on who you want to pick
And
as
play
your...
at home.
Yeah, you can play at home as well. So this is very cool. Interactive. We're so interactive. Again, the reminder of what we are doing. Be 15 names of people who may or may not have been written in on the ballot in Denton County, Texas. in the United States. And you are supposed to pick the 5 that are actually the real write-in answers. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We have Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, John Cena, The Rock, Joe Rogan, Joel Osteen, Harry Truman, Abraham Lincoln, Spider-Man, Batman / Bruce Wayne.
Oh, these are so
Same
good.
same character. Burger King, Chick-fil-A cow, and Kermit the Frog. So those are your 15. And for those of you at home, while the lovely Camp and Gurdon write their answers, I will read those again so you can play along at home. We have Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, John Cena, The Rock, Joe Rogan, Joel Osteen, Harry Truman, Abraham Lincoln, Spider-Man, Batman / Bruce Wayne, Burger King, Chick-fil-A cow, and Kermit the Frog. Why are you laughing at the way I said Burger King? Was it funny?
It's just funny in general about just seeing like, yes, Burger King.
Burger King.
Well, yeah.
Burger King.
Burger.
Well, then I'm writing Burger King down for one of my 5.
All right, everybody at home listening, hopefully you have your 5 because we are about to go over our results. Okay, who wants to go first?
I may as well.
Camp.
If you want.
Yeah.
Camp. Woo. Okay, Camp. Who are the 5 you think were write-ins?
John Cena, Joe Rogan, Harry Truman, Batman / Bruce Wayne, and then Chick-fil-A cow, because Chick-fil-A cow seems pretty specific, and I don't think that's fair.
Okay. Awesome. Locking in Camp's answers. Okay, Gurdon, who'd you pick?
I thought I would actually line up a lot more with Camp, but I just went with like what I think people would just be like half or like, haha, I'm just going to write in a dumb name. But then people that are actually, I want this person to win also. So
Okay.
I went with Joe Rogan, Bugs
Okay.
Bunny, Joel Osteen, Burger King, and then Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we were very different.
And Taylor Swift. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Can you read those again to me so I can record those?
Joeth Roganeth,
Okay.
Bugs Bunny,
Okay.
Joel Osteen,
All right.
Burger King,
All right.
and then Taylor Swift.
Sorry, the way you said Burger King is funny.
Yes, it was funny.
Okay, so now I will tell you guys who was actually the write-ins, and there was actually 6, so that I wanted to give you guys another one in case, told you to pick 5, but I added a 6th one that was real.
We've been bamboozled.
No, it actually benefits you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that I figured I'd give a little bit of leeway there. So the actual write-in candidates, according to this Fox 4 News article, Gurdon, you were correct with Bugs Bunny. That was one
Really?
of them.
I know people write in Mickey Mouse every year, so when I didn't see Mickey Mouse, so
Yes.
I went
Oh
with
my
Bugs Bunny.
God, really?
No, I wasn't going to pick Mickey Mouse because that
Yes.
one's very obvious.
Did you not know that, Camp?
No, who the hell writes Mickey Mouse?
Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck are, without a doubt, every election, people are writing in Mickey Mouse
Okay.
and Donald Duck.
They get Camp for to let you know. The year Harambe died, it got like I think 50,000 votes across the U.S. Like,
Okay, that's fair, actually. All right,
yes, like it's horrible. Using
People
your
are so
whole
unserious.
diplomatic
Oh my
process to
God.
literally vote for a dead gorilla. Yes.
Yeah. Camp, I believe you said John Cena, but that was actually not correct. The Rock was written in, though.
Really? I was caught between John
so-
Cena and The Rock, but I did.
Yeah. So it was The Rock, not John Cena. And then, Gurdon, you also picked Taylor Swift. That would be correct.
Yup.
Taylor Swift was another
What
one.
the hell?
So a win for you both. You both said Joe Rogan. You are
Yeah,
correct.
let's
Joe
go.
I
Rogan
assumed that.
was up there. He was quite popular. Gurdon, did you say Joel Osteen? Was that you?
Yes, I did.
That was incorrect.
No.
That was to
thank
throw you
God.
off after Joe Rogan. And then the other 2, neither of you got. And that was Abraham Lincoln and then Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog was the other one.
Why?
I got you with the Chick-fil-A cow and the Burger King. That
Ow.
was I'm pretty proud of that one.
I didn't think Burger King was real, but Chick-fil-A cow, just, I don't know, that just seemed kind of specific. I was like,
cow.
oh my gosh.
Right, and I'm not putting it past people. I bet you there were people that wrote in Chick-fil-A cow. It's just this specific, Denton County, Texas results. They had a really cool article that talked about, and they actually had some pictures of the write-in column. So.
Oh, okay.
I knew that Burger King would not be the winner, but after Lexi just said Burger King, and then I laughed, and then she had to say Burger King again, and then I said Burger King, I just had to write it in. So.
Oh, okay. You wrote it for the funny.
Yes, I knew I would not get a point for Burger King.
I want to go over this article just really quickly because I do think it's interesting. Again, this was from the 2024 presidential election. And I didn't go through the politicians one because who cares? I mean, a lot of people wrote in, like, that's the boring one, right? A lot of people wrote in other candidates that just didn't make it to the ballot.
Joe Exotic.
Former VPs, things like that. I know I did do the Abraham Lincoln and then threw in Harry Truman in there, but that was, people wrote in past presidents, of course. Some people wrote in the president of China and the prime minister of Israel. So people are just be wacky. Of course, Elon Musk. Yeah, Elon Musk got a bunch of write-ins. We're not shocked. This one's kind of wild. Some opted to throw their support behind influencers like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Hassan Piker, and Haley Welch. The Hot Tulo girl.
Let's go.
And then there was a bunch of athletes. I don't know anything about sports, so I didn't do any of those. And then, of course, we talked about Kermit the Frog, Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck, and Mickey Mouse. So some people did vote for Superman and Iron Man, and that's why I did not put them on here. I put two superheroes that did not get any write-ins to throw you off.
Dang.
I do really love this one, though, and I want to shout it out. It says, another person filled out a Lord of the Rings ticket with Aragorn as president and Gandalf as vice president.
Okay.
That's really interesting. I'd never heard of that one, so just wanted to share that with you guys.
They're from Middle Earth. They don't get any.
They're like, what's a ballot? I've never seen this before.
What's a ballot? This is how we learn that the Middle Earth does not have the democratic process. That's the sad part about it all.
Of course they don't have the democratic process.
They're like, I vote against who's the big evil Sauron? I vote against.
Oh my gosh. So now we're going to talk about some of these obscure political campaigns. We're going to go back to somebody that we mentioned, or a political party that we mentioned up at the beginning, and that is the Youth International Parties, or the people known as Yippies. And
Let's go.
And this is from an article from Listverse called 10 Political Parties You Might Not Have Heard of. They did a really good job of kind of summarizing the Youth International Party. So yes, this was the ones that nominated Pegasus, the Immortal. The Yippies were known for their humorous approach and theatrics, but they did actually have issues that they were concerned about. They spoke very openly about civil rights, the environment, and being anti-war. So not very surprising for this to be a political party that came about in the late 60s, because that was, what was going on in the world, and especially the United States at that time. Funny enough, the leader of this group is nobody. Like an entity named Nobody.
Oh, literally. Okay.
Which, yeah, it's kind of a play on the fact that nobody is really their leader, but then they gave it the name of Nobody, this entity, which can be seen on some buttons that they gave out during elections in the 1970s and 1980s that said Nobody for president.
Huh.
I like that.
That's kind of clever, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of a cheeky way to say that they were very unhappy with their representation. And as funny and comical as they were with, Pegasus and some of those things, they really did actually care a lot, like I said, about the environment, protesting against the war, trying to get leaders to stop being involved in the wars. And then obviously they were on the side of being pro civil rights, very much for the advancement of civil rights. So just kind of a goofy, fun thing, but actually has a twist on, caring about some serious issues as well. And now we're going to jump to a party that doesn't give a shit about serious issues. The Rhinoceros Party in Canada,
Let's go!
both of you guys already spoiled.
Represent. Sorry, I grew up knowing about Rhinoceros Party. Of course, I'm going to.
I know.
Okay.
Rhinoceros Party in Canada was actually inspired by Cacareco, the Brazilian rhino. Wow, gosh, I just was talking about rhinos and that fell out of my brain. So according to the Canadian Encyclopedia, the Rhinoceros Party was formed in 1963 as a way to make a statement about federal election campaigns. It lasted until 1993. However, in 2006, it was reformed and registered with Elections Canada. So has kind of two runs going on. I believe they are still active as of today, the 2006 reformation, that is. And Wikipedia stated that the Rhinoceros Party declared that the rhinoceros was an appropriate symbol for a political party, since politicians by nature are, quote, thick-skinned, slow-moving, dim-witted, can move fast as hell when in danger, and have large hairy horns growing out of the middle of their faces.
So true.
That's kind of funny, though.
And some of their positions were very goofy. In fact, most of their positions were goofy just for the sake of poking fun at all of this. They had a position on repealing the law of gravity.
Oh, Gern, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this.
I was not expecting that. I'm so sorry.
I think Cam probably knows some of their stuff.
I know.
But yeah.
I know some of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So they wanted to repeal the law of gravity. They were like, that needs to go. They wanted to change Canada's currency to bubble gum so it could be inflated or deflated at will.
Oh my good Lord.
And most importantly, in my opinion, because it is the Rhinoceros Party, they declared war on Belgium because a Belgian cartoon character, Tintin, killed a rhinoceros in one of their cartoons.
I know Tintin. He did that.
Yeah.
No.
Apparently.
My homies hate Tintin.
Yeah. So didn't know that Canada was going to try to be at war with Belgium, but that's apparently why. Because Tintin killed a rhinoceros.
I mean, it's very
in a
important.
cartoon.
His sacrifice will forever be held together by the Rhinoceros Party, though. So thank you.
Honestly,
Right.
the sacrifice will not be in vain.
We salute you in your horns, Rhinoceros Party.
07.
Bro's horny. What on earth, dude?
Okay.
Sorry.
Cut that out. Make it.
No.
Don't like that. So you guys make it very hard for me to transition into my other information because you're just
We're making jokes.
goofing,
That's our
gaffing.
job.
Funny.
Yeah, and then you say something and I just don't even know what to say to
But
that.
that's the thing. You're the straight man. Me and Gern are the idiots.
Yes, we're the idiots.
Well,
yes.
y'all said that. I didn't. So we
Yes.
have one last outlier here of not really an obscure political party, but an obscure political figure. I want to say, and this is somebody that Quidurf mentioned, and I think he's a very interesting character. This is Vermin Love Supreme. Have you guys
I know.
ever heard
Yes,
of
I've heard of it. He wears a boot on his head. Yes.
He does. He does.
I have not heard of this. Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right, let's go.
yes, Mr. Supreme does wear a boot on his head, and that's probably one of the least interesting things about him, to be honest.
True.
So Vermin Love Supreme, he legally changed his name in the 1990s, by the way, so this is his legal name now. He has identified as Republican, Libertarian, Independent, and Democratic at different points since 1987, running in various elections. So
Indecisive king. Love it.
He
yeah,
old as
under
hell.
every party ticket. He was born in 1960, I want to
old
say,
as hell,
something like
yeah.
that. Let me see. 1961. So he is a performance artist that, according to Wikipedia, summarizing it by saying that he has ran as a novelty candidate in various U.S. elections. And when he is asked why he does what he does, he was quoted as saying that his joke humor campaign is a response to the lies that people are fed by the media and the government.
Ah.
So Yeah, even if he's humorous, he's basically saying that I say such outlandish stuff because politicians do this anyway, and I'm trying
it's meant to be
make...
like a caricature.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even though he is a rather humorous guy and has some humorous positions, he did run in 2020 on the presidential ballot, and he did have some serious views, such as pardoning nonviolent drug offenders, reducing incarceration, and he even criticized Donald Trump for the mishandling of COVID-19, insisting that more testing and information should have been available. So he does have some serious issues as well that he made known, but he also, in a humorous fashion, did satirically promise to make COVID-19 illegal.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's something I can get behind.
And on a play on his campaign promises where he would go back in time to kill baby Hitler, because he had said that previously, that he was going to go back in time and do this. He also vowed to go back in time and kill baby COVID.
Oh.
So that way we wouldn't have COVID either. No Hitler, no COVID.
No Hitler, no COVID. Yep.
He also facetiously pledged to create COVID-19 free zones because he said, quote, "They work so well for things like guns and drugs." So he's kind of a baller. Oh. That's kind of metal. That's kind of awesome.
You know what?
He's like,
he's got my vote.
well, yeah, they work so well for guns and drugs. I'll just put up a sign that says COVID free zone. And
Yeah.
there we go. No COVID.
You can't get COVID there. That's against the rules.
The sign says it, so you just can't do it.
So the other cool thing about him is he has been known to promise every person a pony as his little slogan. And he even had a, quote, right to pony protest when his original permit to protest at a stop on Hillary Clinton's book tour was denied. So he filed a permit to protest. The city, whoever it was, I forget now, said no. And he's like, well, I'm going to have a right to pony protest then, because I have the right to show up with my pony and do a protest. And so here is how the story played out, quoting Wikipedia here. It says, in response, and that means to the denial of the protest, Vermin Supreme asserted his, quote, right to pony and retained Mark Randazza, an attorney with a reputation for advocacy of First Amendment rights, to represent him in suing the city of Concord. Okay, so it was going to be in Concord for a permit. The court found in favor of Supreme.
Let's go.
Issuing an injunction that the city give him a permit, allow him to protest the event, and allow him to bring ponies. A stipulation was that Supreme had to pay for parking for the ponies at the rate of cars.
Oh, no.
When Supreme presented the pony protest, there was a parade. More than 1,000 people attended the book signing and protest.
Oh, my goodness.
So they're like, yes, Mr. Supreme, you can bring your ponies, but you have to park them in the car spots and you have to pay the rate for a car. And he goes, sure.
Oh, king.
I just want to point out, I want to give, of course, Vermin Supreme some massive props, but I also want to give Lexi some massive props for saying so many P's in a row of pony protest, parking, like just over and over during that last
okay,
section.
wow. See, I
Just a
probably couldn't do
built-in
it
tongue
again
twister.
now that you brought it
I
up.
want to give you some props
To
for that.
pay for parking for ponies at the rate of cars, he presented the pony protest. There was a parade.
It was so good.
I'm so sorry to the audio listeners because I have a little pop cover on my microphone, but it does not really do a good job. So y'all probably just listen to a big bunch of like
Just
pose
over
in
and
your
over.
ears. Yeah, so sorry for that. But that is Mr. Vermin Love Supreme. And that is the end of our obscure political parties and
There's no more
candidates. And well, I mean, there's a ton more. That's the thing is I had to make cuts because there's a ton. So definitely want to give the thing of, if this is something that you're interested in, by all means, look it up, because even some of those sources that I will link below that had like the 10 political parties on like a list, and then a couple of them of like, non-electoral candidates and stuff. There are way more, but I didn't want to be here for 5 hours going over every single one. So just tried to pick some of the high notes there. And Yeah, had to end on Mr. Vermin Supreme because what a cool dude. What a cool
Yeah.
dude, genuinely.
He sounds great,
So-
honestly.
Wanted to keep this one fun. Of course, there are a lot of very strange ones and very real ones that I didn't want to venture into that. I wanted to keep it kind of lighthearted, even though, of course, some of the issues are not very lighthearted. Vermin Supreme especially is adds a little bit of humor to these serious topics. So,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of seriousness on the podcast, and then also non-seriousness
farts.
for our last episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked out that episode, please do. It's interesting. As
funny.
all of our topics are. 'Cause I'm not going to say it's boring, but
Going full circle to the beginning.
it hurt my brain a little bit, I will say. So, do you guys have any closing thoughts on some of the strange things we talked about today?
All right, Canadians, listen up, okay? It's time to get some real change. Everyone write in my rhinoceros party for 2029. They know what to do. They got this. Full disclosure, that's a joke. Don't do that.
You're going to be leading the sign of the times. You're going to be leading the rhino down the streets in
Yes!
Canada so that everybody
Let's
knows
go.
that it's time to
It's time for
to
the
vote
revolution.
rhino.
It's time to
Oh my
vote Rhino.
goodness.
That's funny.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I can't think of any puns, or else that would have been funny. But yeah, anything else?
Gern Regan say something about Battle Bus earlier.
Oh,
I was gonna
yes.
say because I have an outro. I want to make sure if you
I'm
wanted
sorry,
to add
I'm
anything.
very
I've
off
got
my
it.
game for some reason today. Yes, I was going to mention that Battle Bus already has followers, and if we need
Yeah, but
somebody
that's
to...
a cult. That's not a political party.
Okay, but what's the difference, okay?
You know, honestly, yeah. What's the difference at this point? Like, what's the?
There's a huge difference, actually. Holding religious power is way more than political power a lot of the times.
But then,
for a
but then
society.
we start bringing them together. We're like, yes.
Well, yeah. But typically it goes where you start your cult, you start your religious following, and then you invade politics.
But that's we've already done that. That's what I'm saying. We're on to the next step, which is Battle Bus.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Breaks into politics.
Yeah.
Battle bus for mayor?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Across the nation, Battle Bus, dude.
Listen, Morris walked so Battle Bus could run.
Battle bus, she'll take you where you need to go.
Yes, let's see.
Battle bus 2034 or whatever. She'll probably be dead by then, actually.
Okay,
That's
I was afraid to
probably-
say that,
yeah.
but
That's like 10 years from now. I hope she's still alive, but I think the average cat lives like 10 years, so. Anyway, so we don't get too sad.
Yeah, I'm sad
Thank you
now.
so much. Sorry, we ended on I didn't want to end on a sad note, and then we were kind of sad. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I know it was a little bit less organized than some in the past, just because I wanted to cover a bunch of different things that kind of had some loose threads there. Thank you so much to James V. Rossi and Queer Durf for submitting this. I'm so sorry if I butchered your names. I butchered the ancient Roman horse as well.
you killed the ancient Roman horse, Lindsay.
Yeah, that's what it said when it died. It was actually me. But thank you so much. We appreciate you listening. If you have never listened before, thank you so much. If you're coming back, thank you so much. Shout out to our lovely patrons that make it possible for us to let you know about the weirdest stuff we can find. And as always, please continue to submit your recommendations because you never know. You could be next. This is a threat.
That sounds,
Let's go.
Yes, that sounds very much like a threat.
And it is.
Dun, dun,
Damn right it is.
dun.